Welcome to A Rare Reality, a podcast powered by Jordan's Guardian Angels. I'm Christina Janes, Director of Outreach and Awareness for JGA, and I am joined today with Dr. It's been a long morning, I think. Dr. Stefan Strack here with the University of Iowa. And Stefan, thanks for spending some time with me. I am going to be able to speak to you, I swear. But we just want to talk today about the heart of the matter. What's really driving you and the rest of our brilliant research team in finding a treatment or a cure for Jordan syndrome, because that really is closer than ever.
Sure, I'd be happy to answer your question. So, I mean, I'm really excited about this project for several reasons. So, I'm a basic researcher. So, I'm not a medical doctor. I'm a PhD. So, I don't see patients. So,
Right.
for the longest time, I've been working sort of in my little, glass palace, if you will, in academia here on this rarefied enzyme PPP2R5D, and really there was no particular reason to work on it apart from it just being a really interesting enzyme to study. Then came these mutations that had been reported by a variety of groups, including Wendy Chung from Columbia, that really pointed out these mutations as being causative for Jordan syndrome and as of late actually for some cases of familial Parkinson's disease. So all of a sudden, sort of things fell into place for me, and I felt sort of vindicated of having spent so much time in the past, close to 20 years working on this enzyme, because it put me in a really good position to ask some very fundamental questions and hopefully also ultimately come up with a cure for this disorder. So we really put our knowledge about sort of the enzymology or how this enzyme works in the brain to good use for coming up with hypotheses that we can test in order to find out exactly how is it that these mutations cause abnormal brain development and autistic features, but at the same time also asking the question, can we leverage this knowledge to ultimately come up with therapies? So that's why I'm so excited about this. Again, because I don't have medical training. I'm a PhD in neurobiology, but I really enjoy working not just with our talented team of physicians here that work on Jordan syndrome, but also really getting to know the patients, the kids and their parents whose research, who will ultimately benefit from our research. So that's sort of in a nutshell is why I'm really excited about this project.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing to see not only that there's this push because of the kids and their families, but also the teamwork that's gone on with all of you as this research team. I mean, we've gone from 10 and sort of doubled, tripled, quadrupled in size, plus, with all these people working together. But all of you have this sort of symbiotic relationship that doesn't always happen, from what I understand, in the research process, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. And here really a shout out to Joe Lang, our fearless leader here, who really put in the contract from the beginning that we are all to share, and we have been doing this diligently, and also helped out that we were able from the very get-go sort of pick our colleagues. I mean, we put together a team of people that had worked together in the past, so we weren't competitors, and we continue to share reagents, knowledge way before publication, because we're all friends. We've been interacting. I mean, some of my colleagues on the team I've known for close to 25 years or so. Brian Rodzinski, I actually trained with as a postdoc at Vanderbilt. So this makes it a very organic collaboration that isn't hampered by some of the backstabbing in politics that sometimes occurs in academic science, where people are trying to essentially publish or perish. Right here, we're all working for a common good, and it has worked out spectacularly well.
Yeah. Let's talk about that common good, because we've had the in-person family conference plus numerous Zoom meetings that you've all had a chance to be a part of. But meeting the children, meeting these families, knowing how important all of you are to them, how has that made a difference for you in the everyday push towards a treatment or a cure for Jordan syndrome?
It's been incredibly inspiring. I mean, from the very first meeting in Scottsdale, Arizona, now I'm trying to remember back, 5 years ago now, it's been a long time. It was just eye-opening, actually being in the same room, actually having dinner with the very kids who ultimately will benefit from our research. That's been an incredible experience, and that experience only got deepened during the subsequent family conference that I was part of, and I think Richard was part of too. In addition, I hope we can all get back together very soon, because I think ultimately Zoom is a very poor substitute for actually seeing in
The
person.
tangible. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Obviously, it's very important for the clinicians as well, because it's very hard to do a blood draw remotely via Zoom,
Isn't that
right?
the truth? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the goal, is that we can all get everyone back together, COVID willing, to have everyone in the same spot again. And you know, it's great because we have all these families around the world who want to come together, who want to see each other and want to see all of you and interface with you and move this along as well. But the inspiring nature of those meetings was something that I don't think I'll ever forget. And I'm sure that you feel the same.
Yeah, no, I mean it's quite unique, and for me, an incredibly uplifting experience.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. Now, uh, how for a family that's out there right now, and I know that yes, you do the research, you're behind the scenes more, but for a family that's listening today and thinks, okay, my kid has this rare disease, my child has X, whatever X is, and they're feeling rather alone, rather discouraged. I mean, you guys have come such a long way in the research process to find a treatment or a cure for Jordan syndrome that at this point you see there's a light at the end of the tunnel. What's your message to the family that's just starting out right now?
Well, I mean, just hook up, connect via Facebook, via other social media with other parents that have children with Jordan syndrome, because there's a lot of support out there, not just in terms, I mean, just for understanding the day-to-day struggle that these kids go through. There's so much to share, because clearly these kids have a lot in common, and than just the mutation that they carry. They have very similar challenges in life, and I think, just sharing information, communicating with others. Some, there may be, I mean, but by now there's more than 200 cases that are known. Many of them are very active on Facebook. There's a very good chance that you live within driving distance of somebody who has this rare disorder, and that's really quite unique among these rare disorders. And really, again, sort of Carol and Joe, Wendy, and others have done a great job in terms of promoting awareness and also recruiting families to social media, where they can engage in this incredibly active mutual support network.
Yeah. No, I think it's a beautiful thing. And to watch all of you in action, to hear all of the things that you're doing, and to also see that we are closer than ever to the light at the end of the tunnel here. And it's also inspiring, and we appreciate you and the entire team so much from all of us on the JGA, the team side of it, and the families that we interface with on a regular basis. You guys just mean the world to them. So we appreciate it. We appreciate you. And thank you for spending a little time today and talking really about like the heart of what's driving all of this too, and moving it forward. And it's great. So thank you, Stefan, so much. I appreciate
Oh, no
it.
problem, Christina. Anytime. Happy to
All
support
right.
the work.
Cool. We
Terrific.
appreciate it. And you can listen to the podcast on Apple, Spotify, also the Google podcast. Just go to our website, jordansguardianangels.org. Right there are all the links for that. Plus you can watch the video version of it and take a listen, send it to your family and your friends.
Sure.
So thanks everybody.
Yeah.